What's good, y'all? It's your girl K Tokyo, and I am back and better than ever. So today I have my mom with me.
Hi.
And we're gonna she's gonna do a story time about how she found out I was pregnant, how she felt, and like what she did. And I'll help out along the way, or but she's really just giving her side of the story because I already gave mine. So yeah, I don't know where you want to start at.
Oh, I think the day might have been, I don't know if it was December the 4th or 6th.
I think it was December 4th.
Yeah, like 2018. Now, I remember I was working from home, and I was in my room, and I can't remember if you came in there and told me you needed to talk to me, or you sent me a text. Probably sent me a text and asked me to come here. So I'm like, something had to be wrong, because at the time my ex-boyfriend was here in the room with me talking. So she called me to come in her room. So I came in her room. I could tell from her expression that something was wrong. And I'm like, what's going on? She's like, I just need to talk to you. And she said she was pregnant. And I didn't know if it was a prank at first, because at that time she, was doing little pranks here and there. Because her and Kenny had pranked me a couple of months before that.
It said that I was pregnant, and I was actually pregnant then, but I didn't know. At the time, I was 17. But when I told you, I had just turned 18, like 2 months, like a month and a half before.
Right. So when she told me that she was pregnant, and I'm like, are you serious? And she was like, I'm serious. She was like, I can't worry about what he's going to do. I'm sorry for disappointing. The first thing she said actually was, I'm sorry for disappointing you. I can't worry about what he's going to do. But all I know is I can't live with myself if I don't have this child. She's like, I'm still going to go to school. I'm just going to have to grind harder. And I had to take a moment because I was like, she's serious. I could tell by her expression, like it wasn't a prank, that she was serious. I sat down and I was like, Kira, I was like, what are you thinking? Like, because I'm thinking, you get ready to go off for college or whatever. So I'm like, what are you thinking? And she, I couldn't really talk. I started actually hyperventilating.
She almost had a heart attack.
I've never in my life ever hyperventilated.
I'm known for that.
I'm talking to her, and I guess I'm realizing this new reality, because I think sometimes what young girls don't think about is that this doesn't just only affect your life, but it also affects your the parent's life. Especially if you're a parent that's involved, because you're not going to, you want to continue to see your daughter succeed and do the things that she wants to do. And this wasn't, having a child wasn't part of the equation. So I'm like, in my mind, all these things, I'm thinking, all these plans we've had and things we put in place, all these young leadership programs, candy striping, all these things that she's done to prepare her for her next chapter in life, and that was to actually go off to college. Even though she was already doing dual enrollment, but it's actually to go off to college. But anyways, I started hyperventilating. I could not get it together. I'm like, I mean, I couldn't control it.
I'm like, do I need to call an ambulance? Like, I was scared. I was crying. I didn't know what to do.
I think I just never have been that emotionally affected by anything in my entire life. And because it was real. I couldn't control it. And I was talking to her all calm. And I'm like, well, Kira, I don't know. I mean, are you, you sure you want to go through this? And then all of a sudden again, I must have hyperventilated
the whole entire time out of the whole 3 hours we was talking.
I hyperventilated multiple times, and it was something that was crazy. I just could not control it. And like I said, I guess I just never, this is my baby. This is all I've had. All my, her life has just been her and I for the most part. And so I just was really affected. I couldn't control my breathing. And like Kira said, she was like, do I need to, call it doctor? You're scaring me, Mom. I was calm the whole time we were talking. I was really calm. I'm talking to her about it.
She's talking like how she's talking now.
Yeah, I was like, you know, are you sure? Like, what were you? I'm like, what were you thinking? You know, all these plans. I was devastated, but I didn't realize how devastated, I guess. So we talked for those few hours, and she was telling me that she had wrote me a letter to tell me, but I think one of her sisters told her that, you know, you and your mom are too close. You know, this is something serious to shouldn't put in a letter. You have to actually tell her.
I wrote a 3 to 4 page letter in class, front and back. I believe it was front and back.
Yeah,
we have it right here. Yes, the letter was. Can y'all see? Front and back, like 3 pages, and I wrote it in class, and you had it in order.
I think it's still in order.
And I wrote it in class, and only one of my sisters really knew at the time, because she found out from Kenny texting my phone and asking me if I was going to tell her that I was pregnant when I was with her, so she seen it that way. And I was telling her, like, I wrote a letter and stuff, and I wanted to give it to my mom. I was going to give her the letter and then just leave and just wait for whatever. But my sister was like, no, you don't need to do that. You need to tell her first and then give her the letter after you tell her. And I'm like, oh. So that's what I did.
So we got through that day of me hyperventilating off and on between our about 3-hour-long conversation. I left out of the room, went back in the room. My ex was in there. I didn't even tell him. I just kept it to myself. I think I was still like in denial and shock. I think more like in shock, because I'm like, you know, I'm excited for her to go off to college, you know, and I'm like, yeah, you know, she can get to have, you know, a good time, you know, learn different type of responsibilities, party, balance out school at the same time, you know, all that. You know, I really wanted her to go off and just really enjoy that. You know, I was in the military, so I, you know, left home when I was like 17, excuse me. I joined the military right out of high school. And, you know, I know Kara didn't want no parts of that, but I wanted her to, you know, go off and meet, you know, different friends and just really enjoy life and just, you know, different chapters. So we had been planning that. So I think I was really disappointed from that aspect, because I knew that she was having, you know, this baby. There wasn't, you know, I didn't even try to talk her out of it. I just was trying to get through the fact that she is really pregnant.
In the beginning.
Yeah, that was the first day. So
the second
day, I had went into the office. I wasn't working from home.
Right.
I came home, and I remember her in the kitchen cooking. And I'm like, she's really cooking? Like, you know, and it wasn't noodles. Like, she's cooking. I mean, she can cook, but she don't cook like that.
Yeah, I can cook, but I'm not finna just go in there and make no whole meal.
She was in there cooking. And so I came in, and I think day 2, it set in on me. Like, my baby's really pregnant. And so day 2, I came in the house. I couldn't even look at her because I was so disappointed. I couldn't look at her. I spoke to her, and I just went upstairs to my room, and that was it.
Then the third day.
Day 3 came, and I was laying in my bed in the room just chilling. Kara came in the room all happy, you know, sitting on the bed like she normally does, just talking to me, and I was just like, Kara, I don't know what you're thinking. I said, I don't know if I can't go through this and support this, you know, you having this baby. And she was like, well, I would, you know, Ma, I would never disrespect you, but I feel like, you know, in time, you'll get over it. And I said, in time, you would get over an abortion too. So I'm like, because now day 3, I'm like mad. I said, I don't know what you're thinking. I said, you know, Kenny barely has a place to stay, you know, because, you know, he stayed with us off and on. I said, you know, I don't know what are you thinking, you know, and I said, he's still trying to figure out what he's going to do. You know, we talked about the military. Him and I talked about school. He's still trying to figure out what he's going to do. You already have a plan. You're supposed to be going off to college. So I'm like, this is not part of the plan. And so she was like, we talked about this for like hours. Like, I thought, you know, you were good on it. I'm like, I had 2 days to take this in. I said, you've had 2 months to take it all in.
I hid it for 2 months.
Right. So I'm like, you had 2 months to take this all in. I only had 2 days. And I'm like, no. And she was like, well, like I said, you know, I can't live with myself if I do anything other than have this baby. And so if I have to do it on my own, then I'm going to do it on my own. I said, well, then you do it on your own. I said, you figure this shit out. I said, you get your rabbit and you get your dog and you go somewhere and you figure that shit out then. That's what I told her. So she left.
With the dog.
She took the dog. She left the rabbit. That's her and Kenny's rabbit. She left the rabbit here, Shadow, and she left. And then I called Kenny on the phone.
So, mind y'all, I'm thinking that you know how you could type, like, you could say a message and it'll, like, type it for you? So, I'm thinking that's what she's in there doing. I think she just, like, saying a message because that's what she normally does. But she was on the phone with Kenny, but I didn't know that. So, I'm just like, okay, I'm getting my stuff. I'm leaving out. And then
I'm on the phone talking to him, and I'm just like, what are y'all thinking? And I'm going in, and I'm like, I had to tell him, like, I know it takes two. It's just not you. It takes two to, you know, obviously to make a baby. I'm like, but you're still trying to figure out what you want to do with your life. You know, you haven't even finished high school yet. So I'm like, well, I don't know, what are you guys thinking? I said, it don't even make sense. This don't even make sense. And so I was going on and on and on to him, and I know he probably like, she's crazy because I'm talking shit. And then I'm like, and he was all being respectful. Fault. He was like, yes, ma'am. And I'm like, he's like, no, I said, I know it's just not your fault. I said, I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. That's what I said to him. I got off the phone.
So then he calling me, Kiera, just please go home. Please go home. You need to just go home. That's me. Like, no, my mom wanted me to come home. She'll tell me to go home. So then he called my mama back. Can Kiera just come home?
I was like, she can't come where you at? That's what I said. She can't come where you at?
Mind you, I had asked if I can go where he was and stay there, but yeah, I couldn't. So,
but at the end of the day, that wasn't gonna happen anyway. It's just that I went through these phases, like, of disbelief, like, this is really about to be the new reality, like, that my child is about to have a baby and everything is just about to change. Not that she was having a baby, that I'm keeping this baby, I'm having this baby, I'm keeping this baby. And she was like, she said to me when she told me in the beginning that she was pregnant, she was like, I need my mom, you know, so she had told me that. And I know that. We've always been close. She ended up coming back home that night or whatever, of course.
Yes, and I didn't go far. I went to Target. And then after I left Target, I went to the gas station across the street and got some snacks for me and my dog, and we watched YouTube in the car until it was time for me to go home.
Because she already knows, like, it was just, like I said, it was just different phases of the new reality. Like, I was just shocked. I was literally in shock and filled with so many emotions because I'm just like, never in my life expected that. I just never ever expected that. I'm like, all the things that we have done and the experiences that Kiera's had, you know, all this traveling and all these plans, I was just like, you know, I guess this is God's plan, and I can't fight that battle. So I think I was in denial for about a month. First person
it was a good 2 weeks to where stuff returned back to normal in the house, as far as like no tension anyways. I would say it took like a good 2 weeks before that, but then like a good month for everything to just be perfect. But like 2 weeks after that, everything was back to normal. Well, I felt anyways. I didn't feel like I was walking on eggshells after 2 weeks. I'll put it that way.
For her, I think because it was probably like a big relief for you to get it out. But for me, I was like low-key depressed. Like, I was depressed for a couple of months because I think for me, being a single parent, even though I'm not trying not to get emotional.
Please don't.
But being a single parent, even with me having Kiera, I turned 34 a week after I had Kiera. So I was a single parent, but I had a support system. I was living in Japan in the military. I had a great support system. When you're overseas, you all look out for each other. So it was a little different. And plus I was older and I'd already kicked it, partied, hung out, did everything, traveled, whatever. So I was ready to do this, be a single parent on my own. And I just know the challenges And so her being so young, I didn't want her to have to experience that. And I think the other part of it was, like I told her one day, I said, Kiara, you're a great kid. You're smart, you know, and I said, I'm not so worried about you because your support system is bigger than what you really know. It's not even just about me, about your grandparents, your sisters, our cousins, our close military friends. Like we have a huge support system. So I said, as long as you continue to do things that you know you need to do, you can still finish school, you can still have businesses, whatever it is you decide to do. I'm gonna support you. I said, but I was just more concerned about what she was gonna have to deal with from a standpoint.
Feelings up.
I hear him. From a standpoint of, you know, her relationship with Kenny, because, you know, I knew there were situations there with that relationship that concerned me. And I've seen the struggle when two parents, especially not even that they're young, even, you know, older, the issues that you have when the father and the mother are not together, and the struggle and the fight, and sometimes people do things out of spite. And I just didn't want her to have to experience that. And, you know, that heartache, you know, of Keelan being tugged this way or, you know, whatever. So I was concerned. Once I got past the disappointment and surprise and thinking about the fact that, shit, I'm thinking you about to go off to college. You know, I'm about to be 53. Mom about to do her second go around of kicking it or or whatever I want to do, traveling. But I'm an involved parent, and so I knew I was going to be an even more involved grandparent. Because I've always been a believer that, you know, children don't ask to be here. You know, we made that choice.
No, sir.
To bring.
No, sir.
Like I always told Kira, I said, you didn't ask to be here. You know, I made that choice to bring you into this life, and so I feel like it's up to me to make sure that you enjoy life. You know, you're a productive citizen, all these positive things, and so she's not that type of child where I would just have her.
Hold on, mommy. Sir, Keelan, you already know you're not supposed to let go. Let go.
You laughing? It's funny. But, you know, I know that she's not the type of child that, you know, I would just have out there or whatever. Anyway, our family doesn't, we're not made of that. You know, our family is very strong. My mom probably would have, beat my behind if she knew that I had Kira out there in the streets trying to figure things out on her own, because we just weren't raised like that. Our family is very close. So I got through it. We and see he's here trying to tear up my letter. Yeah. So, and like I said, it was a time that I had to just really come to terms with myself and accepting my new reality. And instead of planning college send-offs last summer, we were planning baby showers, you know, and I couldn't even imagine life without Keelan. You know, he's a joy and a blessing. You know, I can't even. Yeah, I'm just so happy that he's here. But I have to say that it was definitely difficult for me at first to really just come to terms with the fact that not only is Kira's, her life is forever changing, but my life is forever changing as well. And I think that's some things that I think it's important that when young girls get pregnant, that they have the support of their mother.
Your grandma talking.
Their father, whoever they're closest to. It's so important that you have that support and that they know that they're not by themselves, and you don't want to see them struggle. But I think that also when you're making these types of decisions, you get pregnant and decide you want to keep the baby, you have to be mindful that your life is the only life that's changing. Because, like I said, my life is forever changed as well. And I always wanted to be a grandmother, but not till after, you know, obviously after Kira graduated from college and, you know, got started with the next chapter down the line. But, you know, she did eventually she ended up giving me the letter. I read the letter.
Clap.
And it makes me very emotional.
Just don't cry.
Because she started the letter off as if my grandson was speaking to me. So I don't know. I was going to read some of the letter, but I don't know if Keenan's going to let me read any of it. We might put Keenan down. Let's see if he's going to play.
Are your emotions going to let you read it?
My emotions will let me read it.
Bye.
I will say that I'm definitely, I'm very happy that he's here. So here, the letter started off with, it's basically starting off like it's from Kieran. And it says, "Hey, Mama, I'm your grandchild. I know you have a million things running in your head right now. My mommy was scared to tell you because she knows it will disappoint you. Please don't be angry at her. I wouldn't say I'm a mistake, but a lesson and a blessing. I can show her what love really is, even though I know you've showed her enough. I'm going to let my mommy speak for herself now." So that got me.
Right, I'm about to cry now.
Because I'm like, she's got this baby talking to me. So, So then he said, "Mommy, I know you're disappointed in me. I'm crying while writing this to you."
And that was facts. I was literally in my microeconomics class writing this letter, like not doing my work. I was literally sitting there just writing the letter.
So I'm crying writing this to you. The last thing I ever wanted to do was let you down. I don't want you to blame yourself for this because it isn't your fault. It is mine. I also don't want you to think you're any less of a mother or that you did something wrong with me because you did everything right. You raised me right. So please just don't blame yourself because I know how you are. Yeah, I'm always taking on everything.
No, sir. No, sir.
I know eventually I would have to tell you, and I didn't want to wait too long, especially because I need to see doctors on a regular and have checkups. Also, I didn't feel right that other people knew, but not you. My first appointment that I had was at a clinic. Kenny came with me. I heard the heartbeat and seen the baby move around, and I cried. Kenny was happy. I was scared. I could see his big old smile.
No, because Keelan was in there dancing, right? Like, Keelan was, like, literally, like, you could see, it looks like a circle, and then, like, 4 circles, like, on, like, the side, and, like, another circle for the head. Like, that's all you could see, like, in the beginning. And he was just in there going like this. So the doctors were joking. Mind you, y'all, Kenny was not dancing at this time. He was not dancing on Instagram at all at this time. Kenny actually could not dance. Like, I'm not even lying to you. So the doctor is going to joke around. They're talking about something. Oh, he in there dance. He said he in there dancing. One of y'all, he said something basically like one of y'all a dancer or something like that. He's in there dancing. And I said, I hope he ain't in there dancing like his daddy. Like, we was playing around and stuff like that. Because at the time, like I said, Kenny was not dancing on Instagram. Kenny could not dance. It was just funny. So I hope he not in there dancing like his daddy.
So then Kara goes on to say, I consulted with many people before my first appointment. Delana, Dana, Ariana, Nina, James, my diary, JT, and Kennedy. So Delana and Dana, her sisters, and Ariana and Nina
and JT are my best friends
from Maryland. Yeah. Delana was there for me and didn't judge. We talked about it. She told me, all you have is your mom, and that's who you're going to need most during this journey. Forget what other people may think, which I know. Dana was very excited. We talked as well, but more about how I was feeling. And she sent a picture of the prenatal pills she takes because her sister Dana was pregnant. Dana was pregnant at the time.
We was pregnant. We were pregnant around this. Yeah, around the same time.
Ariana and Nina were the more serious ones who still would be there for me no matter what decision I made. And I know Ariana and Nina probably like us, they were graduating high school at the same time. So we all grew up together. Going off to college at the same time.
Ariana and Nina and they've been my best friends since I was like between 8 and 11 years old. So
they said they'd be there for you no matter what decision you made. James was the same as Ari and Nina, but is against abortion just like me. I couldn't live with myself if I had one. JT took about a week to believe me, but is happy. JT was probably scared and wondering how I was going to react.
Yeah, JT is my best friend since elementary school. That's actually Keelan's goddad. So Ariana and JT are both the godparents of Keelan.
I really talk to Kennedy because she's close to my heart and has been...
Look, Keelan moved.
So, we're talking about Kennedy. So, I really talk to Kennedy because she's close to my heart and has been in this situation, but was younger. Everyone has been supportive since, as well as forcing me to tell you. And I know they were forcing her to tell me because they know how close her and I are. You know, because all those people that she mentioned here are very important to me, and I know how close we are all. So I know they're like, you need to tell your mama. And Karen knows I'm not type, person to, I'm not judgmental, things happen, So JT is the godfather and Ariana is the godmother. It was only right for Ari since we've always said that my kids would be hers since we were 9 years old. But everyone else, I ain't having no kids.
Yeah, Ari always said she wasn't going to have any.
Mommy, all I have is you. You're all I've had my whole life. And I know you're very disappointed. But I please ask that you be here for me and not be too hard on me. I know you want to probably hurt me and curse me out. And you have all rights. I don't even be cursed out like that. However, in the end, it will bring so much joy and happiness. Not only to me, but to you and a lot of other people. And that is true. I hope our relationship will get stronger because I feel as though it may deteriorate. I just love you so much and I don't want this to change anything between us. I just pray that it doesn't. I don't want you to get caught up in what people think. The only thing that matters is us. Whoever has anything negative to say is not a real friend or family. I can't do this without you, and I need, in all caps, my mother. I remember when you told me you were sick. Basically, this paragraph. I can't do this without you, and I need my mother. I remember when you told me you were 16 and pregnant, and you told Grandma. I don't know how you did it because it hurts for me to tell you, but I know when you went to Grandma, you probably already had no intent on keeping it. But I know for sure that you wanted her to be understanding and not ready to beat down on you. Yes, you were younger than me, and you didn't go through with it. So that's the difference in our situation. But if I know that I have a wonderful support system and my baby will never want for anything, and that I know that I will do everything in my power to be able to provide for my baby on my own. Not only that, but that my baby will have the most loving father that will do whatever he can to provide for his baby and be there at all costs. There's no reason for me to get rid of something so beautiful that has a right to be brought into this world and loved unconditionally. She had me crying. As far as school, of course, I'm still going. I'm still going to chase my dreams and fulfill everything I said I would. My life doesn't stop, maybe momentarily, but the grind will never stop. Now I have another reason to keep grinding until I reach my goals. Not all of my thoughts are out, and I know this letter doesn't save my butt from anything you have coming my way. I also know I have a very huge responsibility coming my way. I just ask that when I get back home, you'd allow me to cry into your arms about this whole situation before you hurt me. So before I come back home, could you please send me a text saying you can cry or something so I know what to expect when I get back. The letter was very emotional for me because I know that, a lot of times you guys don't really write anymore. Everybody send text messages or whatever. So what I've always liked about writing in cards or writing letters, because you really are putting your thoughts down on paper. So I know that those are her genuine thoughts, and I can only imagine how she felt when she first found out. I do remember one day you were leaving to go somewhere. I think you might have been leaving to go see Kenny. And I remember you was in the garage getting in the car.
Oh yeah, and I said something about you loving me.
I said I love you, and you said something like, you said something. I hope you will, no matter what. Something you said to me, and I remember that. And and this was before I knew she was pregnant. But I think she knew at that time, and I could just see, I don't know, something was going on. I could tell something was going on with her.
No, sir.
But I wasn't sure. I knew that her and Kenny were, kind of, going through certain things. So I just didn't know if it was, some of the hurt or whatever that they were, dealing with amongst each other, trying to figure out their relationship. So, anyways, like I said, it was definitely something that I had to come to realization that my daughter, was going to become a young mother, younger than I expected. And it was important that I, continue to be there for her to, assist her through this new chapter and this journey. I since Keelan has come, I can't even imagine life without him at all. That'll probably be another video. Share some of the stories and experiences with Keelan.
Yes, definitely.
But he's
almost 1, guys. He'll be 1 in 3 weeks.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah, it's been great though, and so we got through, the pregnancy, without any hiccups. Everything was smooth. It was just unfortunate that. So obviously we got through the pregnancy without any issues, and stuff. And it's sad that it's almost coming up on a year. But Kenny not being here, and so it's unfortunate that he never got to actually meet his baby in person. So we just gotta make sure that we continue to love on him, teach him, and make sure that when he gets older that he knows his dad. But I'm so happy. Clap. I love you, Kira.
Clap, clap, clap. Yay! Clap, clap, clap. Clap, clap, clap. Clap. Clap your hands.
So yeah, hey, I'm a grandma. I'm a grandma to a beautiful baby boy and Keelan, Jeremiah, Wanye.
Hey y'all.
So what ended up being the day that had me hyperventilating, thinking that, oh my God, what are you thinking? Now I couldn't even imagine. I could not imagine. Anyway, guys, so that's my story as to how Keelan
crazy but
how I felt and how I reacted when Kara told me she was pregnant. One thing I did forget to mention was it took me a month to even really speak on it.
I thought you did say that.
I didn't say it took me a month to speak on it. It took me a whole month to speak on it. I did tell my ex in Maryland, because he had been in my life for about 7 years. He's like a father to Kiera. I actually called him the next day and told him. But I couldn't speak on it to nobody else for a month, because I was just that depressed, trying to oh my goodness, my daughter's life is changing forever. Because, we want you guys to have the best life. I'm not saying you can't still have a great life, because she is, but we want you to just be able to not have certain worries and responsibilities at such a young age. And so I think that's what my really concern was, that because I'm one of the parents. I want you to go off and have a good time and enjoy life. And she still is. We're balancing that out, and I'm just here to support her and help her.
And I'm in school, y'all.
But after a month, and the first person I told after was my parents. I called my parents and told them, and I didn't know how they were going to react, because my father is a pastor. But they were like,
my grandma told us something. Is it twins?
Right, because twins run in the family on her
both sides. On Kenny, because Kenny.
Well, yeah, Kenny, both their sides, Kenny's side and Kira's side. But they were just like, Kira's a good kid. She's a great kid. We people make mistakes. It happens, and we just got to support her. And that's how they were. And I'm just like, really? I'm like, I could have been told you guys. I didn't know how they was gonna react. But everybody's been very supportive, you know, throughout this whole thing. Like I told Kiera, we have a great support system. So, you know, Keelan's gonna be okay. He's always gonna be okay. Kiera's gonna always be okay. And
we straight.
We straight.
We straight. But y'all, this video gonna be long.
I'm done. I've told my story. I'm done.
Alright, y'all. Well, y'all already know. Make sure y'all like it, comment, and subscribe for more videos. And y'all DM me some ideas for some videos to do, whether it be a story time, pranks, anything, challenges, and I'll do that for y'all. Y'all already know what I say. Tokyo gang or no gang, and we out.